So you took a photo and it came out super dark. Like super dark, or you forgot to turn on the lights. Like this shot right here. Definitely looks like someone forgot to turn on the lights. But if you shot this raw like I did, it's actually pretty easy to fix and it'll look like someone turned on the lights. So let's get into it. Okay, so with raw files you can actually push it pretty far, and the first thing you just want to do is crank the exposure. And if you just crank it to about here, it's like, alright, you can call it a day here. You can say you're pretty much done. Lights are turned on, you can see much better. But obviously we want to do a bit more than that. So we're gonna take a look at some of these other sliders. So the highlights, in terms of highlights, I think they're okay where they are right now. Maybe turn it down a bit. Or maybe not if you want to preserve some more, if you don't want so much detail in the background. So actually let's get rid of some of that detail. That's fine over there, or maybe we can even just, crop it out completely. Let's actually make this 4:5 so we can put it on Instagram without it being a bitch. Alright, cool. So shadows, let's bring out some of those shadows. Whites are in okay position, maybe a little bit down, and blacks are pretty alright around here. So you can see there is a huge difference from just before and after, and just by tweaking the top part here. But obviously we want to style it up a bit more, especially if you're putting this, for like a Instagram or something. You want a bit of style. So clarity up a bit, vibrance maybe a little bit. I like to add vibrance but tone down saturation. So I forgot exactly what this does, but saturation will basically desaturate everything, but vibrance won't affect everything. It only affects, like, I think the highlights or something. Don't quote me on that, definitely gotta check it out, but this is something I like to do, and I like the outcome and how the pictures look afterwards. So for your tone curve, you just want to do the simple S curve like this, until you find something you like. I like to put the tail up like this, so we have a little bit of that, faded film look. That's again a personal preference, you don't have to do this. But in terms of how much curves you wanna, how much you wanna mess with the curves is really up to you until you find something that you think fits the kind of look that you're going for. So obviously it also depends on the photo. I kind of like it about here. Now this is where it can get quite fun, and you can just spend hours tinkering around with a different kind of look here and there, but I'm not gonna go into that for now. Split toning is also something that you can mess around with for a while, but in terms of detail, let's put some noise reduction. And the reason we're doing this is because we can. So this photo was shot at 200 ISO, 50mm f1.8, but the shutter speed was 1/320, and that's why, if you see the before, that's why it was so dark, because the shutter speed was way too fast. But because it's ISO 200, it doesn't have a lot of noise, but because we also cranked up the exposure at the start, it introduced a little bit of noise. And to get rid of that, we just crank up some noise reduction a little bit. You could go, full blast like that, and it just sort of like blurs everything. Looks like someone took this with a front-facing Samsung camera or something. Not exactly the best look. I mean, it's fine, but it looks pretty unnatural. So I like to keep it below 50, even below 30, so about 27 is fine. So if you have a lens profile for your camera, you might want to take that as well, because that might fix some distortion, or in this case some vignetting. You can see the sides are a bit dark, but once I enable the profile correction, everything is bright again. But you might also just want to add another type of vignette on its own, because this is different than the vignette we had. If you like some grain, you can add some grain, but I personally don't like it so much. And then from here, you can start playing with your calibration and see what kind of cool looks you can get. So just by doing this, and maybe a little bit of this, you can get some pretty cool looks already. This is more towards, the orange and teal kind of look, and this is like a Blade Runner-esque look. Let's see if we can get some orange and teal going. So yeah, I mean, this looks way better already, right? I mean, it did the last couple times I said that, but you can see with Lightroom you can really do a lot of cool stuff, and it's very simple. I mean, I did this in just, you know, a couple minutes, and you saw me do everything. And obviously you can take it a lot further the more time you spend with all these things, like, you know, split toning, HSL, and color. But the point is, don't get discouraged when you underexpose your shots, because if you're shooting raw, you can pretty much rescue them just fine. Like I would think this picture is just fine. Like if I wanted to push it even further, like I did here a little bit, it still looks fine. And only here we're starting to, you know, see a little bit of weirdness going on here. I don't know what's happening here. I don't know if that's my screen or that's actually in the photo. But anyway, that's what happens when you start pushing it a little bit too far. But you can push it enough so that, you know, you get most of the detail back and the photo becomes from unusable to completely usable. But yeah guys, that was the tutorial. Hope you find it helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.